So today we're going to be doing something completely different. I'm not going to be speaking about how truly awful and woke the latest Hollywood film or television show is. We're not going to be lamenting the fall of the MCU with the abysmal feminist She-Hulk series. We're not going to be mourning the vandalization of Tolkien with the Rings of Power series. We are not going to be laughing at the number of dislikes that the Little Mermaid trailer got. And we're not going to be reacting to the shocking levels of historical revisionism in the Woman King feature film. Today, I'm actually going to be praising something for a change. What a shocker. I'm going to be speaking positively about a particular project and content genre that I'm becoming quite passionate about, and I hope that you'll take a moment to hear me out and consider what I have to say.
Dave, I don't come here to watch you praise stuff. I come here to watch you destroy woke films and TV shows. I'm out of here, unsubbed. Goodbye.
Wait, just hold on for a second. I haven't finished my point. Okay, so we can complain till the cows come home about how wokeness in Hollywood and the utter mediocrity and unoriginality of their productions is just destroying creativity. Another sequel, another prequel, reboot, remake, and we can go on and on about how intrusive and unwanted their agendas are. But the question inevitably becomes, what can be done about all of this? Where does art go from here? Where is the original, fun, exciting, innovative, thought-provoking, and meaningful entertainment going to come from? Because it's obviously not going to come from Hollywood. I'm a firm believer that necessity is the mother of invention, and that there are talented, creative people around the world who can make better, more entertaining content than Hollywood, and they can do this on a shoestring budget. They may not work for a big Hollywood studio, but the internet can give their work an outlet. There are many signs of civilizational decline in the Western world, but one of the indications of this can be seen in the quality of creativity and art. When you look back at footage of decades past, you can clearly recognize the 1960s was visually, stylistically different from the 1950s. Also, clothing, fashion, and music were clearly different, and you can observe noticeable distinctions between fashions and musical styles in the 1970s, 80s, and 90s. But at some point, during the first few years of the 2000s, music just stopped innovating. And the same is true of film and television shows, and fashions became derivative. A person from 2005 could be transported into a busy city centre in 2022, and aside from the noticeable ubiquity of smartphones, they would probably think they were still in the same decade. Little has changed. Our culture has creatively stagnated, and Hollywood is just compounding the problem further. I've often wondered when and from where would the creative renaissance ever emerge, especially when our culture has been so degraded and saturated by degeneracy and irony. And I think I'm beginning to formulate an answer to this. Over the years, there have been many YouTube web series, some very entertaining and well-produced independent films, but The Backrooms is something genuinely unique, and given its cultural impact and the way in which it's being produced and its incredible high quality, I would be so bold as to call it groundbreaking. Now, there are no doubt a myriad of you asking in the comment section, Dave, what the hell are the Backrooms? It is going to take a little bit of time for me to explain fully, but suffice to say the short explanation is that the Backrooms are a sci-fi horror genre of short films that are usually filmed in a kind of found footage style, which is to say they're filmed like the Blair Witch Project, using a camcorder from the perspective of the main character. Now, before I fully explain the Backrooms, because I'm really not doing it justice here, I'll say that I'm not really into the horror genre per se, but the unique nature of the Backrooms and the level of innovation in this whole concept is something I really appreciate, because the Backrooms, in my opinion, represents the birth of a new artistic renaissance that could only have been developed at this point in history for many complicated reasons, which I will explore later. The Backrooms has become a unique evolving mythology which is being developed and expanded upon by lots of content creators and filmmakers across the web. No one owns the Backrooms or holds primary copyright over it. The individual filmmakers who make their own Backrooms shows and films hold ownership of their versions of it, obviously, but anyone can make their own Backrooms content. It is effectively what I would describe as open source, democratized filmmaking. So here's the longer, more thorough explanation of what the Backrooms actually is. In 2019, it all began when an anonymous user posted this photo on 4chan of a large section of strange-looking office rooms. Yellowish, dingy wallpaper, no furniture, harsh fluorescent lights, and the photo was taken at a slight angle. Everything about the image was just a bit off and unsettling. To this day, no one knows where this photo was taken or if it is in fact a real place. Anyway, there was another anonymous user who wrote the following description of this photo. If you're not careful and you no-clip out of reality in the wrong areas, you'll end up in the Backrooms. Approximately 600 million square miles of randomly segmented empty rooms to be trapped in. God save you if you hear something wandering around nearby, because it sure as hell has heard you. Very spooky indeed. And from here, the Backrooms evolved from a creepypasta meme into a genre of content. Kane Parsons is the biggest and most well-known YouTube filmmaker in the Backrooms genre. His channel goes by the name Kane Pixels, and he's made several films, which have become an ongoing series. The first of which was a film called The Backrooms Found Footage, uploaded in January of 2022. The basic idea is that it's possible to fall out of our reality into this other dimension called the Backrooms, where the laws of physics that govern our reality do not apply. The Backrooms is comprised of endless liminal spaces, corridors and hallways, that stretch out forever like mazes, trapping the occupant in a claustrophobic environment where they are terrified by the overwhelming scale of the labyrinth they've fallen into, that and the various entities and spatial anomalies they encounter along the way. Kane Pixels has produced some of the best Backrooms content, with an engaging storyline about how the US military have discovered a portal into the other dimension called the Backrooms, and they have been mapping the interior, discovering that people have been going missing there for years by falling out of our reality. Now, what's extraordinary is that Kane is only something like 17 years old, and he's been producing amazing CGI, which looks so real. But he's an amazing storyteller also, and his version of the Backrooms continues to become more sophisticated, even incorporating live actors. He's unraveling the mystery of the Backrooms, as he sees it, and the recent video entitled I Remember feels like a trailer for a kind of second season of the series. It gives me the same unnerving chills that I get when I watch 2010, The Year We Make Contact, and I hear David Bowman's distorted voice say, "My God, it's full of stars." There is indeed something very Kubrickian about the atmosphere and tension created within the Backrooms productions. The unnerving and unsettling feeling you get at the end of 2001: A Space Odyssey when David Bowman enters the world through the monolith and watches his life unfold before his eyes. Yeah, that's the kind of suspenseful creep factor that we're talking about here. The creative potential with the Backrooms concept is as limitless as the Backrooms themselves, and that's what's extraordinary about this as an art form. The mythology is being developed by lots of people, some creating their own alternative takes on the Backrooms universe. Some of these productions have taken the form of Backrooms video games also. Now, like many very popular things on the internet, they can burn very brightly, very hot, but very quickly, and they can saturate the web pretty fast, thus burning out and losing their appeal. And I have no doubt that in time the Backrooms will have had its day, but that's not really the point I'm making. The originality of the Backrooms concept, the organic nature of its origin, the feelings that the films can evoke, the horror and suspense, the discomfort, sense of curiosity, wonder, awe, and the incredible talent of independent content creators out there just goes to show that Hollywood can someday become irrelevant. People don't need Netflix or Disney Plus. You don't need the cinema. Some of these Backrooms videos generate millions of views, I would wager often beating the viewership numbers of many big-budget Hollywood TV series. What the Backrooms proves to me is that there is phenomenal creative ability out there, such that the most exciting new and cutting-edge artistic and pop culture expression is going to come from independent filmmakers who can innovate faster than the slow, expensive, monolithic Hollywood machine with its political agendas, corporate politics, biases, and dislikable narratives. David can topple Goliath. I would also expand upon my critique of the Backrooms concept itself. So, We can ask, why has the idea of no clipping out of reality and finding oneself trapped in unending liminal spaces resonated so much with so many people? I could be wrong here, but I think it's possible that the Backrooms speaks to our innate human instincts, specifically our larger unspoken dissatisfaction with the artificial nature of the modern world. The Backrooms first level also perfectly plays on our anxiety created by the monotony of the corporate office environment, with its horrible wallpaper, undecorated walls, bland carpets, and the unnatural and loud fluorescent lighting. A corporate prison from which there appears to be no escape. Atomization, dislocation, and demoralization generated by the lack of meaning found in corporate life. The banal may not seem so dangerous and hostile to us, and yet the Backrooms plays on our deeper need to feel something within the unnatural and sterile corporate existence. So the Backrooms are a literal physical manifestation of our sense of the void and the horror of eternal emptiness. But of course, it's not just corporate life that can fill us with such deep-seated anxieties, but the nature of our modern world around us, as it continues to spiral into something that makes less and less sense, and where conventional wisdom and thought has deserted us. Perhaps this is the reason the Backrooms has emerged as a concept now and not 10 years ago, although I will also say that the technology may not have quite been there for so many independent filmmakers to make such high-quality productions. There's also something familiar with the Backrooms in terms of the structure of the environments within it. The structure of the worlds within our dreams and our nightmares often work in a similar disjointed manner, fragmented and disorganized spaces that defy the laws of physics and yet somehow seem to work. Of course, the common nightmare of being chased by something that gets closer to you no matter how fast you run from it is also quite compelling to people. Anyway, that about does it for my thoughts on the Backrooms. I'd love to hear what you guys think in the comments below. Take care, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.